So with Minecraft 1.21 finally getting its full release, we can start to look forward to the future and what may be in store. Some may say it's a bit early, but I think there's no better time than now to speculate about what could be updated or added to the game next. I mean, there's quite a few aspects of Minecraft that are definitely still lacking and could use an update revisiting or completely overhauling them. So I want to discuss some of the potential updates we could most likely be seeing for 1.22. Most of the ideas I do talk about in this video are centered around improving already existing aspects of the game by modernizing them, similar to updates like the Nether and Aquatic update, as I believe these are far more likely to be implemented and also just better for the game as a whole. So without further ado, let's ask ourselves the question, what's next for Minecraft updates? So one of the most common questions brought up by the Minecraft community is, where are the past biome votes? Unlike the mob votes, any losing biome was said to be introduced later on, while the winner gets added first. We received the mangrove forest, which was a losing biome, so what about the other three? In case you don't remember what the three biome votes that still haven't been introduced were, they're the Badlands, the desert, and the savanna. Notice how all of these biomes are warm climate biomes, making them perfect for a warm biome themed update. These votes had some great feature ideas, and the biome themselves are currently pretty empty. The savanna would receive large baobab trees, ostriches, and termites. The desert would receive palm trees with new tropical oasis found in the biome and meerkats. And finally, the Badland would receive dead bushes for ambience, new larger cactus variants, and vultures. Adding all of these features would definitely do wonders toward making them feel more lived in. But why stop there? They could add the vote features, and in addition to that, add more plant life, ambient sounds, mobs, and while I can't currently think of any more incentives to want to visit these biomes, I'm sure Mojang could think of some. Although I'm not sure what 1.22 will end up being, I think a combination of all these lost biome votes could be a very likely candidate for what's next. Now, another great update idea is a dungeon update focused around overhauling all of Minecraft's older structures, like the Desert Temple and Jungle Temple. Updating these structures could involve making them larger, with more area to explore and more combat-focused challenges and puzzles. The Desert Temple and Jungle Temple are two of Minecraft's earliest structures, and they've barely been updated since they were introduced. I guess you could count the archaeology as an update to the Desert Temple, but I really don't think that's enough. These structures need something to make the players want to go out in search of them, and this could be done through unique loot. Besides potter's sherds and armor trims, I personally like the idea of having more mythical items that can boost specific stats, such as materials to craft a helmet that allows you to jump higher, or a pickaxe that can mine a 3x3 area but has less durability for balancing. This update would be perfect after 1.21, as the new structure could follow the same system as the trial chambers, using the trial vaults and the trial spawners. They could also be applicable for the bad omen effects to increase their difficulty. The one gripe I see about a dungeon focus update is the fact people don't want to lose the original iconic structure. So to handle this, I think you could keep the original, but add a new variant of the temples. In order to make the old ones exciting again though, they could add maps leading the players to the new and larger variant with the exciting loot. Now I know I only really discussed the jungle and desert temple, but they could revisit other classic structures as well, like the woodland mansion. I just think the two temples are in need of an update the most, so maybe they could fully fledge out the temples and then make the bad omen effect applicable to the rest of the dungeons in the game. I also think they should replace the chests and spawners with vaults and trial spawners. I know I already said this, but I think they should do this all around with all dungeons except for the base normal dungeon. I think an update like this could be very likely in the future. The only problem is the fact that 1.21 was also a dungeon focused update, so they may want to visit a different aspect of Minecraft next and save this for a little bit later, but it could still be very likely. Alright guys, so I do want to take a quick 10-second pause in the video to remind you that if you are enjoying this video, a like is greatly appreciated and helps the channel out more than you can know, and subscribing ensures you never miss out on another video just like this one. It's also completely free. You did it? Great. Back to the video. Alright, so getting straight back into it, the next update I want to mention is the end update. Now, I know every Minecraft YouTuber in existence has mentioned an end update, but it's for a good reason. I mean, the end is literally in its name. It's the end game of Minecraft, yet it's one of the most dull and bland aspects of the game, containing only the end cities and the dragon fight. I've made countless videos before on what a potential end update could look like, so I'll link those in the description, but to give you a quick rundown of an end update, it would be similar to the Nether update, adding 3 to 5 new biomes that maintain the end's barren and desolate vibe while making it feel exciting to explore and difficult but possible to live in. In order to make it livable, you would have to add something like a respawn anchor to the end, and then on top of that, they should also add newer variants of the end cities containing new unique mythical loot And finally, overhauling the dragon fight is absolutely necessary, as currently it only has about 2 different attack patterns and then it just flies around aimlessly. For a final boss, it's honestly pretty easy. The end has a crazy amount of potential, and I'm honestly surprised we haven't received an end update already, but we will undoubtedly get an end update one day. Will it be 1.22? I really hope so, but I can't be for sure, as I was convinced both 1.19, 1.20, and 1.21 would be end updates, and here we are. The end update is for sure coming, it's just a matter of when. Now, after discussing an update as large as an end update, I want to take a look at an update that's on the simpler side, but equally as necessary. A quality of life update is very needed for Minecraft, touching up on a bunch of different aspects of the game that currently need fixing. While the update wouldn't have a singular focus or a real central theme, it would do wonders for polishing up the player experience. As to what quality of life features you could include, well, it could finally fix the inventory problem, with one solution making it that you have the same number of inventory slots to carry unique items, but each item then has 10 extra slots just for that item. This slot would appear when hovering over the item, and just to be clear, I know this idea is not perfect, but it's definitely better than nothing. The update could also fix Minecraft's transportation system, buffing the speed of horses and majorly buffing the speed of minecarts, while maybe adding a momentum system to make it more viable. The update could finally add ambient sounds to the game. We currently have them in the Nether, and they make traversing the Nether so much more immersive, so why not add more ambient sounds to all the overworld biomes and for different weather events like rain and wind on top of mountains. Performance also needs to be touched upon, as the game currently is one of the worst performing games out there without third-party clients like Optifine or Sodium. So touching up performance is definitely necessary. And last but not least, they could finally introduce balances to combat and introduce the combat system to Bedrock. I also can't forget to mention that the fletching table still needs a function like 5 years later, so they should probably get on that. There are a lot of different quality of life things that could be touched up upon, but these are some of the most prominent. These changes could either be an update of its own, but maybe a half-a-year update would be better, or a side project for Mojang would be better, or they could just slowly introduce these features over time. It's more likely these features would get introduced slowly, as a quality of life update, while necessary, really wouldn't do much to hype up the game for the average player. So I can see them making these changes, but I think we're going to see them introduced here and there over the course of a couple of updates. The next update I want to talk about is a little less likely than those previously mentioned, but if they follow the trend of 1.19, 1.20, and 1.21 of adding something completely new, a highly requested biome similar to the Cherry Grove could be introduced. I don't think it would be crazy to see a forest-centered biome update. Many players have been requesting a biome update, and if its focus isn't the warm and arid biomes, they could very likely focus a biome update around the game's different forests, adding new plant life, mobs, and overall generation variety to normal forests, dark forests, and maybe they could even revisit the birch forest concepts shown at a previous Minecon. These forests could definitely use a few more features to make them just a little bit more interesting. Maybe we could get the black bear or the grizzly bear in the forest, or the dark forest. I mean, we already have the polar bear and the panda. Why not add the other two? Maybe the grizzly bear could give a new use to honey, as eating it would put them to sleep, where then you could shear it to get its claws, which would then be used to craft a bear claw, which when equipped in the offhand would allow you to climb up any wall as if there was a ladder there. A forest-centered biome update would also need a new biome to gain players' interest, and I think the perfect idea is an autumn or a seasonal biome, containing trees with varying colors of yellow, red, and orange leaves, and some new functionality to make it unique. This functionality could be seasons, another long requested feature. Seasons wouldn't work in Minecraft unless they made it biome exclusive, so the trees would have to have a unique formation to indicate which biome is the one that experiences seasons, and could be functional in the sense it goes through winter, spring, fall, and summer, experiencing a change in the color of the leaves and weather like snow or more frequent rain in the spring. This biome would also be made far more efficient for farming, growing any crops placed there twice as fast, but you do have to deal with things like winter making crops grow twice as slow. The biome would be a great way to introduce seasons to Minecraft and would be awesome for farming while keeping it balanced and optional, as it wouldn't be for every biome. This could also be a slight farming update, adding new crops or redstone mechanics that allow you to farm more efficiently, but that could end up being a bit mod-like or could just be a whole update of its own. A forest update, while not the most needed on this list, could definitely have some huge potential for an exciting update and some really cool features. Now, those are some of my ideas that I think are far more likely to occur in 1.22, but it could also be something completely new like the trial chambers were. Maybe we'll finally receive a deep dark dimension utilizing the portal found in the ancient city, or an update focused around building, adding a variety of new decoration blocks. I would say these are less likely than the other updates on this list, but you never really know what's going to be added next, and Mojang tends to have their updates planned out 3 or 4 updates ahead of time, so they already know what's in store. But guys, those are a couple of my ideas for what we could be seeing in 1.22. What do you think about these updates? Would you like these, or would you rather see something else? I did kind of go into these just a little bit, so if you'd like to see me further explain any of these updates or ideas in the future in a separate video, let me know down in the comments below, and I'd love to continue this discussion, so any thoughts you have, also just leave down in the comments below. I do really appreciate you making it this far in the video, and if you enjoyed the video whatsoever, a like is greatly appreciated and goes a long way towards helping the channel out. And if you really enjoyed the video, hit that subscribe button so you never miss out on another video just like this one. It's also completely free. Alright guys, thank you for watching. I hope you have a great rest of your day or night, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.